Yeah, but do it loud.
No, I don't get from me. Baruch Adonai Hambrach.
What?
Baruch Adonai Hambrach Nilam Ba'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim. V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Very good. Then I read the Torah.
Yeah.
Next.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Natan Lanu et Torat Emet. V'chayei Olam Nata B'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Perfect. There you go.
Now do the blessing.
Okay, then they're going to introduce the Haftarah, right? They're going to say who? Okay.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar B'nvi'im Tovim V'ratza V'divreihem Hane'amarim Ba'emet Baruch Atah Adonai Habocher B'Torah U'v'Moshe Avdo U'v'Yisrael Amo U'v'nvi'ei Ha'emet V'asedeh.
Good. Now, can you do it louder, or that's as loud as you can go?
I could probably do it louder.
I would try to do it louder. The place is going to be full of people, and there's no mic, you know what I mean?
Okay.
All right, so...
Up for now?
Oh, no, you can do your thing.
Adonai Uzi Uma Uzi Umanusi Beyom Sarah Elecha Goyim Yavo Me'afse Aretz Beyomru Ak Sheker Nachalu Avotenu Hevel Ve'invam Mo'iyam Hayaselo Adam Elohim Vehema Lo Elohim Lachen Henani Modiam Bapam Hazot Odiem Et Yadi Ve'et Gevurati Ve'yadu Kishemi Adonai Chatat Yuda Ketuvah Be'et Barzel B'tziporn Shamir Charusha Aluach Libam Ukarnot Mizbechotechem Kizkor Benehem Mizbechotam Va'asherehem Al Eitz Ra'anan Al Givaot HaGivaot Harari Basadeh Elcha Kol Otrotecha Lavaz Aten Bamotecha Bechatat Bechol Givulecha Vishamatata Uvcha Minalitcha Asher Natati Lach Vecha Avideticha Et Oiv Vecha Ba'aret Asher Lo Yadata Ki Ish Kedachtem Vapi Adulam Tukad Ko Amar Adonai Arur Hagever Asher Yiftach Badam Bisam Basar Zero Umin Adonai Yisor Libam Vehaya Ke'ar Ba'arava Velo Yir'eh Ki Yavotov Vishachan Charirim Ba'midbar Eretz Melecha Velo Teshiv Baruch HaGever Asher Yiftach Badonai V'haya Al Adonai Mivtachov V'haya Ke'et Shatul Amayim V'al Yuval Yeshalach Shoroshav V'lo Yir'eh Ki Yavochom V'haya Alehu Ranan Uvishnat Vatzoret Lo Yid'ag V'lo Yamish Me'asot Peri Akof Halev Mikol Ve'anushu Mi Yeda'enu Ani Adonai Choker Lev Bochen Kilayot ולתת לאיש כדרכיו, כפרי מעלליו, קורא דגר ולא ילד, עושה עושר ולא במשפט, בחצי ימיו יעזבנו ובאחריתו יהיה נבל, כיסא כבוד מרום מראשון מקום מקדשנו, מקווה ישראל אדוני כל עוזבך יבושו ושורי בארץ יכתבו, כי עזבו מקור מים חיים את אדוני, רפאני אדוני וארפא, הושיעני ויבשע, כי תהילתי אתה.
Excellent. Really good.
How do you do?
Okay, you satisfied? You happy? Can you do it a little louder or no?
Not loud enough?
Well, you know what? If you can, you can. If you can't, let it go. They'll be quiet. They won't be noisy during your thing. So, the speech is up there, right?
Yeah.
So, have you been practicing that?
Yeah, all day.
Take your papers, David.
Now, what's in the back? Okay.
Good Shabbos. My name is... What?
Can't hear you. Sorry.
Good Shabbos. My name is Mason Sattler. I'm privileged and honored to be turned off cell phones.
Rude congregant. He thinks that.
Start again. Sorry.
Good Shabbos. My name is Mason Sattler. I am privileged and honored to become a bar mitzvah this Shabbat morning at the Hampton Synagogue and to have this opportunity to share a few thoughts with the congregation. First, I would like to thank Rabbi Schneier. My family and I are so grateful to have you oversee me becoming a bar mitzvah. It was just 20 years ago that my mom converted to Judaism. With your encouragement and under your supervision, it means so much to us to have you with us here today on our bar mitzvah. Rabbi Bronstein, thank you for all the personal time, help, and guidance you have given me for this special day. To my Hebrew school teacher, Mor Joan, thank you for helping me with my Jewish studies and teaching me Hebrew. Mor Joan, you have been instrumental in getting me ready for this special day, and I am so grateful. I also have to thank my Uncle Lester.
Much louder.
I also have to thank my Uncle Lester.
That's better.
For making the time to Skype with me after work and helping me with my Haftorah and my speech. Even though your wardrobe choices were sometimes questionable, Uncle Lester, don't get me wrong, I appreciate all of your help with the speech, but I think maybe we should save some of your jokes for my bachelor party instead of my bar mitzvah. I would also like to thank everyone for coming to see me become a bar mitzvah. I'm so happy that my Grandma Marilyn and Grandpa Arnold are here from Florida. I especially want to thank my mom and dad who are always there for me. Whether staying up late to help me with homework or watching the newest Netflix series with me, you are always there to support me in everything I do. I also want to thank my brother Aiden for not bothering me while I was studying for my bar mitzvah and for not kicking me off the Xbox. There is one person who is missing here today, and that is my Grandpa Henry. He may be missing physically, but I know he is looking down on me with pride. Today I'm honored to be wearing his tallis. Witnessing me become a bar mitzvah would have been one of the proudest moments. Judaism was very important to my Grandpa Henry. He was born in Austria in 1931. When my grandpa was a young boy, just 6 years younger than I am today, he and his family escaped Vienna in 1938 after Kristallnacht. As some of you may know, my grandpa and my great-grandparents fled their beautiful homes in Vienna to an unknown place thousands of miles away, Shanghai, China, where they lived in what was known as the Shanghai ghettos for 11 years with over 20,000 Jewish refugees. They They left everything they knew and loved behind to live in extreme poverty and squalor for 11 years. The Shanghai Jews, though, were the lucky ones, as the majority of the world closed its doors to the Jews. China was one of the only countries that would accept Jews. A few weeks ago, I was fortunate enough to attend a screening of the documentary Jews of Shanghai with my parents and Uncle Lester and Aunt Julie. Although I've heard the stories of the difficulties of my grandfather's life in Shanghai, to watch the footage and to hear the first-hand accounts from the survivors of what they actually went through was life-changing. After the film was over, a few survivors that were featured in the film were there to answer questions from the audience, one of whom was a friend of my grandfather's. It was amazing to hear what they went through, how they were able to stay true to their faith and were even able to stay kosher when they faced such extreme hardships. When asked how they got through each day, they all responded, day by day. This year had been a big year for me. Not only am I becoming a bar mitzvah, but I left my old small quad school with only 11 kids in my class and started middle school. This was a major change for me. Suddenly there were A days and B days and only 2.5 minutes to get to class, but I managed to keep up my studies and make principal honor roll for the last 3 quarters. I was even invited by the principal to present for the school board on 2 different occasions. Middle school was a tough adjustment for me, but I got through this year, day by day. Besides being a big year for me, this year is also a huge year for the Jewish people. In 2 days, we will celebrate Yom Yerushalayim and mark the 50th anniversary of the reunification of Jerusalem during the 6-Day War. My grandpa Henry and the other Jewish refugees did not have the opportunity to flee to the state of Israel and its capital, Jerusalem. My parsha, Bachotai, is the last parsha in the book of Vayikra. My parsha vividly describes all the blessings our people experience when we faithfully observe the commandments. It also says that if we don't observe the commandments, God will fill our spirits with grief. My mom always describes me as an optimist. I always try to see the positive in all situations. I believe that if I do good things will come back to me, and this is very similar to my parsha, which ends on a hopeful note, despite the fearful events it describes. When we finished reading it a few minutes ago, everyone stood together and said, Chazak, Chazak, v'nit chazek, which means, be strong, be strengthened. My grandpa Henry's name was Chaim, which means life. I can't help but think of my grandpa and the 20,000 other survivors who went 11 years in the Shanghai ghetto, and how they persevered through the most challenging circumstances, just like God said they would in my Torah portion. They were strong enough to build a whole new life, first in Shanghai and then 11 years later in America. I wonder about my grandpa, whose bar mitzvah was in Shanghai, what he would think if he saw me today, becoming a bar mitzvah in the beautiful Hampton Synagogue. Chazak, Chazak, v'nit chazek. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom.
Standing out. You get the wave. I would just do it louder, if you can do it louder, because when the place is going to be full tomorrow, can you hear me?
Yeah.
See, you just have to say it's unnatural to be shouting it, but they won't hear you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you, unlike the Haftarah where I said go fast, you go a little slower so that they can hear.
Yeah, we said the same thing. We need to be a little bit more articulate and go a little bit slower.
Pronunciation, just a little crisper.
But it's excellent. Where'd you get that stuff? That's good stuff.
No mondel. No credit, no mondel.
It's the reverse. The mom no credit.
Right. Okay. So we did all that in, I'll tell you exactly how long.
Are you sure it's over 6:45?
14 minutes.
What's
Soup,
that?
soup to nuts.
Was what?
The blessings, the Haftarah.
Benji just got there.
Hey, Mace.
Here, for you and Benji.
Yamkus?
Honey, go give Macy a big hug and a kiss. He's the best. Okay, very good.
Oh, it'll be on Facebook.
Okay, now go give your Uncle Lester a big hug and a kiss. Because without his help, we would be, God knows where we'd be.
The Jen and Aiden Sattler, May 25th. Yarmouth. What's the year, 1997?
He's almost as tall as you now. Look at this.
Yes,
What's that?
20 years.
He's almost as tall.